So we get to the two final categories here. First, with the Female Wrestler of the Year. We'll start with the Female Superstar. This includes both AEW and WWE. You have Sasha Banks. You got your Baileys, Asuka, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Charlotte Flair, Thunder Rosa, and Hikaru Shida. RJ voted for... Did he put Bailey? I think he put Bailey. And he tied that... I don't know. He wrote something next to it. Oh my god. He put Bailey, and then he put, like, Lacey Evans. What does it say? All Samoans? I don't know. Something Tamina, Asuka. I don't know. Maybe for who he thought would come in second. I don't fucking know. I'm sure that's a joke. But he did vote for Bailey, though. Who did you vote for, Alexis? Who do you think won?
I think I voted for either Io or Rhea. Okay. But I think I voted for... No, I literally can't remember. But I think Io won. But I also think Bailey is a great pick, too, just because she was champion for most of the year. And she's really grown into her character. But Rhea's good. Like, Rhea was in a WrestleMania match. She was in the Royal Rumble, I think. She was feuding with Charlotte. Charlotte's kind of good, too. I mean, she was gone a good portion of the year. But, like I said, it's hard to pick, like, a women's superstar of the year just because, like, the division in WWE is not good right now. It's just not. It's kind of shitty, like the way they're treating the women. So yeah, it's just kind of like comparing apples to similar apples, like because they're just all of the same caliber to me.
Yeah. No, AEW's women's division is trash. So I mean,
yeah.
I mean they have some good women.
It's difficult.
It's just not a priority for them. I didn't put Nyla Rose on here. I didn't think that was necessary. I thought Thunder Rosa had a better year than she did, so I didn't put her on here. Yeah, I mean, I think the SmackDown women's division is improved. Now they have Carmella back, Bianca's there, Bayley's doing good work, Sasha's the champion, so it's improved. Chelsea Green when she comes back, hopefully, to SmackDown. But yeah, it just wasn't a great year for the women's division in WWE. It was all about Bayley and Sasha, and Asuka too, but I feel like Asuka was only there because of Bayley and Sasha, and Charlotte was gone for most of the year, and Becky... and she was gone. You know what I mean? So she was gone as of May. So at any rate, winning with 30.5% of the vote, the female wrestler of the year was Bayley, which I voted for as well, as she should have, because I think she was the best performer out of the year. I alluded to this earlier with RJ. She improved a lot from the Rumble time to now, when she was calling people stupid idiots or whatever it was. To like calling people sheep. Oh god, it was terrible. Her character sucked.
So bad.
It was bad. It was really, really bad. So she's improved a lot. She's entertaining now. Dropping the title has helped. She held the belt all year for the most part, for 10 months out of the 12 months. So yeah, I got to go with Bayley. I'm glad she won. Number 2, 23.7%, was Sasha Banks. So she came in second. Not a bad pick. She is hot now because she's the champion, Mandalorian. I just feel like, I don't know. She was the highlight during the pandemic for sure, but I think that was because of Bayley. And yeah, I guess she was women's tag team champion, so she did have a really good year overall. I guess she did. She had a damn good year. Bayley was just kind of the focal point, and her Raw women's reign lasted all of a fucking month, but it is what it is. So she won second. Number 3, who I think should have come in second, with 16.9% of the vote, was Io Shirai. So I think she was the second best beyond Bayley, but people wanted to vote for Sasha. 11.9% of the vote went to Rhea Ripley, so your picks are right there, at 3 and 4. 5 was Asuka, with 6.8% of the vote. I mean, she was champion for the better part of the year and came in 5th, so what does that tell you about her booking and whatnot?
I mean, she's on Raw.
Exactly. She's a complete afterthought right now. I forgot to include Lana in these polls. Oh, gosh darn it. Maybe next year. Coming in 6th place, 5.1%. Thunder Rosa coming in with 6, with 5.1, which was cool. Charlotte Flair came in 7th with 3.4%, and 1.7% went to poor Hikaru Shida. I mean, woof. That's, again, she was champion for most of the year, too. Is that just because their division is terrible? I mean, Thunder Rosa ain't even fucking signing. She got more votes.
That's bad.
That's rough. She was champion for literally since May, and she has not dropped it. And she's had a great year. but their division is so bad that I guess people just don't care. That's disappointing. But I can't argue with Bayley being the Women's Wrestler of the Year, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, she had a great 2020. So we get to the Male Wrestler of the Year. This is the big one. This is the last one here between WWE and AEW. A lot of good competitors between both companies, but these were the nominees. We obviously had Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton. I put Keith Lee in there. Keith Lee had a very good year overall if you include his NXT stint. So I had to put Keith Lee in there. Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Jon Moxley, and Cody Rhodes. I don't think did I say Randy Orton? I don't know if I said Orton, but Orton was in there too. So 2 from AEW, 6 from WWE. Who do you think won, Alexis? Who do you think should have won?
So I voted for Drew. He had such a good year. I mean, first of all, last year he was totally underrated. A lot of people were rooting for him, kind of like a Cesaro situation, but
Yep.
Thankfully they're actually doing something with Drew, and they finally started listening to people. They put him in a lot of matches. He won the crowd over completely the beginning of this year. And then he was put in the Rumble, wasn't even supposed to win the Rumble. And then right before he went out, or right before it started or something, he was told he was going to win. Mm-hmm. And he won. Oh my God, the whole story with him, the documentaries on him, everything was incredible. He's a great superstar. I think he's just a natural born star. And he can wrestle. He's got it all. He can talk. He can wrestle. He can tell a good story. He's had a lot of good feuds this year. And I really think he deserves to be the men's superstar of the year. He overall has just done a fantastic job. Who I think is going to win, I think Roman Reigns is going to win. He's another one. I could not stand the guy when he came out, along with a lot of other people. I mean, I like him as a person. His character sucked.
Yeah.
He came out with Paul Heyman. Amazing. Total, natural born star. He wasn't even here, I think, a good portion of the year, right? He came back just a couple months ago.
He only came back in August. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm assuming he wins. If he doesn't, whatever. But he's had a very impressive last few months. He's had a really good feud with Jay. Mm-hmm. His one-liners are incredible, the stuff that he's been saying. Paul Heyman is amazing paired next to him. There's so much potential there for what they could do. And they're not even done developing his character yet. He still hasn't gotten a new theme. Mm-hmm. The possibilities are endless. So I think Roman Reigns won, but I voted for Drew.
Well, Jon Moxley comes close, too. You didn't mention Jon at all. I mean, he was champion since February.
Yeah, he's been champion. He was champion since February. I mean, I'm forgetting about him just because I'm forgetting about him because I haven't really watched AEW that much. I haven't really paid attention to it lately. And I don't know. But he's had a really good year too, and now he's gonna be a dad. Yeah,
exactly, which is cool. What did you say that I was gonna respond to? Oh, so the real key here is year. Because you mentioned Roman, and listen, he's the best part of any show right now. And that goes for AEW, I would say. He only came back in August. I mean,
yeah.
That's why I didn't vote for him. To me, this comes down to Moxley and McIntyre. They were the respective faces of their flagship shows. Both had great reigns. McIntyre won the Rumble. He won the title at WrestleMania, beat Brock in a matter of 3 minutes. I mean, who the fuck does that? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Goldberg does, but McIntyre did, which was cool. The match was forgettable because of the circumstances, but he still beat Brock in a matter of minutes, decisively. Held the title through Hell in the Cell for 6 months, lost it for 3 weeks, got it back, and now he's been champion ever since. And he's had a lot of great matches. My only issue with McIntyre isn't him, but and he's also delivered on the mic, in the ring, whatever. The only issue with McIntyre is that they didn't put him in the main event at all, of pay-per-views for 6 months.
I know.
That's my only nitpick, where he didn't main event the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Didn't main event Backlash. Extreme Rules. SummerSlam. Clash of Champions. Payback. And the only pay-per-view he main evented since he became champion, other than WrestleMania, was when he lost the title to Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell. That's the only time he's main evented since then. He didn't main event at Survivor Series or at TLC either. He actually kicked off the show at TLC. So that's my only nitpick with Drew. But everyone else had a good year as well. Keith, I think a lot of people sleep on Keith because, again, he won the North American Championship in the first few weeks of the year, was in the Rumble, was North American champion up until he had to vacate it, became a dual champion, went to Raw, and now he's getting a title opportunity next week, which is cool. Adam Cole was the NXT Superstar of the Year yesterday. He had a pretty good year. Not as good as the last year, but still a good year. Orton, I know your thoughts on Orton, but I think he's done some of his best work in 2020, specifically in the mic. The McIntyre feud early on was really good too. Cody Rhodes had a good year, and Balor had a great year for NXT, so those are my thoughts on them. But winning it all with 37.3% of the vote, the male wrestler of the year for 2020 was none other than Drew McIntyre. Thankfully.
Nice.
As he should have. He had to. I mean, the guy broke out. WWE, for all their faults and how they book people and whatever and make people losers and all this other stuff, they really made the guy a star. Even with no fans, they could have said, hey, the ratings are in the fucking toilet. We're going to take the title off the guy and put it right back on Brock Lesnar or put it back on Randy Orton or something. And they did put it on Orton for 3 weeks, but they didn't get scared and take the belt off of him because the ratings are in the toilet. That's not Drew's fault. That's the company's fault after years of just not giving a shit. That's not something that Drew is going to solve. So, yeah, I'm glad he won. He should have. This was definitely his year. Second place, 32.2%. So this guy came in a very close second here. Only 5% away from the top spot was Jon Moxley.
Really? Nice.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with that.
Which I'm very happy it was close. It was a close call here. Drew won by a number of votes. But, yeah, I'm happy that he won over Moxley. But Moxley was, again, if I had to pick a second, it would be Jon Moxley, the former Dean Ambrose. This is where we kind of get... The third place is decently up there, 15.3%, Roman Reigns. So he is up there. That's exactly where Roman should be, though. The best person right now for the year, I put him behind those two, because he only came back in August. So
Yeah.
it's tough. You got to be fair here.
Yeah, no, I was only saying that because I was assuming other people were just going to say Roman.
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, no, that's people like, oh, he's the best thing right now. But yeah, no, we're talking about the year here. You got to account for January through July as well. And he wasn't there for 5 or 6 months. And in the first part of the year, he was fucking throwing dog food at Baron Corbin. So, we got to be fair here. So I'm glad he came at 3. This is, the stuff that doesn't really matter, but fourth place rather, with 5.1% was Randy Orton. So he was in 4th place. 5th place was a 3-way tie between Keith Lee, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole. So all the NXT people came in 5th. And then dead last, hate to say it, with 0 votes, 0% of the votes, was Cody Rhodes. I feel bad. He had a great year, but compared to everyone else, it wasn't even close. So he was a guy that was always never the main event, but always like the second, like that second tier person, TNT champion, first ever actually, first time, 2-time champion, the dog collar match, the Lance Archer match, the MJF match. Had a good year at the second tier level, but not on the same level as everyone else. So yeah. I completely agree with that entire ranking for the most part.
Yeah, I agree with it too, completely. I'm really happy those two are the top votes.
Yeah, no, I think McIntyre at number 1, Moxley at 2, and Roman at 3 makes just absolute perfect sense. And everyone else had a good year, but those are the top 3 that really stand out.